Thanks, Selena. My suitcase is ready for Kyoto. This morning we have heard about the whole issue in climate change and the importance of climate change. And I didn't read the book Collapse, but one of my favorite books is Alice in Wonderland, or The Other Side of the Mirror. And here we have the Jabberwock somewhere looking at us, and we need to find something to stop it. And what we see, we are in Katowice, it's unfortunately the rise of short-termism against long-term value. You could see from the BBC yesterday that it seems that the convention has not managed to get an agreement in terms of even recognizing the IPCC report. And it's still based on short-term interest versus long-term interest, or local interest versus global interest. And unfortunately, I mean, so for one of the case, one of the reasons you can avoid collapse is by long-term planning. Unfortunately, history tells us that the people that have done long-term planning in history have not been doing there for good. I mean, mostly that was to invade their neighbor or to prepare some other mischief. So we have to really change the mentality, and we have to change our priorities. I mean, sort of first, we need to change the silo mentality, and this is all about the GLF. I mean, how can we bring together people that will not talk to each other, and to make sure that thanks to that, they will talk, and eventually they will strike deals, and they will change something for the good in the world. So this is that, and this is also what we are trying to support as much as we can in C4, the landscape approach. I mean, sort of. So that's fundamentally, you have an holistic view of a territory, of whatever you want to call a landscape, but we stop thinking in terms of silos. Then we need also to bring, because unfortunately it's how the world is working, the Homo economicus, we need to bring the economics in the picture. I mean, sort of. Every year we are losing something like $6 trillion on land degradation. That's a mind-boggling number, and for the people that have been listening to me, I'm still sounding like a broken record, because that's the one I still think I can. And then we are losing this $6 trillion. We claim, science claims that by investing $1 in landscape restoration, you will get $7 to $20 in returns, which is much higher than any stock exchange investment can do, but still people are not doing it. And we are not doing it for the very reason that we explained before, because we think short term and we are not putting our priority where they should be. The climate change economics, market trade last year was about $400 billion. The amount that we spend every year on making weapons is $1,300 billion. So it's 3 times the size of the climate finance. The GCF, or the biggest investment fund or supporting fund for climate change, is planned to be $10 billion. Yet we spend every year $70 billion in pet food. So unless we change our priorities, I mean, it's sort of reality, and the Jabberwock will catch us. And we should make the sustainable land use a profitable economic activity, enterprise that creates jobs, that provide goods and services, and that make the lives of the people better. Because if it's only a decision of the elites, it is happening what is happening now in my country. People feel disempowered. They see 1% of the population having 50% of the wealth, and the rest having scrap. So we need to bring more equality if we want to achieve a result. And we need also to have this movement that we want to develop, like the Global Landscape Forum. Now, to end our thing, we have the Jabberwock looking at us. And it seems that, like the Red Queen in Alice in Wonderland, we know that we have to run to stay on the same place. This is more or less what we are doing now. So we are running like mad, but we stay on the same place. If we want to go somewhere, and if we want to solve climate change, we have to run twice as fast. Thank you very much.